Hello. Now, I was about to get political and biased in one of these videos, but not for the reason a lot of people think. I alluded to this a few videos back. I was looking at a discussion that happened on another channel, and basically, what happened is it was two martial artists. They were both black. Actually, it was three martial artists. I think all three of them were black, and it was two black guys were debating with another black guy. Okay, and I was going to take the side of the other black guy just because he's from my area, just because he's from the DC area, and I met him and I follow him on Twitter. I was going to be like, he's right, he's right, and it was I think it was actually one of my pages. So I was just going to be like, he's from my way. I'm just going to take up for him, but I had to stop myself. This is the argument. In a nutshell, one person was arguing that we should act like gentlemen and be gentlemanly in how we conduct ourselves and carry ourselves with our martial arts. And we should never call anybody out and never ever issue any challenges to anyone. And I tend to fall in that camp. So that's why I know I feel ridiculous, and I was being ridiculous, jumping on the other side. And the guy on the other side was saying, yeah, that's fine and good, but don't sleep. So many people who teach these styles and who have taught these styles, and who had some of these styles, they had a little thug in them. They weren't wimps. Some of these people would fight you and would go upside your head and wouldn't be afraid to throw down in the streets if necessary. So you had these two dichotomies. One group saying, be like a gentleman. Other group saying, you can be a gentleman all you want, but don't act like there's not a little bit of a thug up in some aspects of the martial arts. Because bottom line is, martial arts is about fighting. So you got two camps. One is, bottom line, martial arts is about fighting. Other camp, the only thing you're fighting is to make yourself a better person. So after I caught myself, I had to realize that both sides were right. And I'm going to pick on my home style of Taekwondo, and I'm probably going to offend people. And if you've read this book, A Killing Art by Alex Gillis, you will know that the founder of our beloved Taekwondo had a little bit of thug in him at one point. Now this is the thing. Now, he didn't stay there in his evolution as a man, okay? Look, a lot of us in the martial arts have had our times in our lives when we did less than stellar things. And any children watching this is not an excuse for you to do less than stellar things. But we got to stop acting like none of us have ever did, let's say, less than stellar things. But hopefully in the long run, we've strived to be the best that we can be. And the martial arts can help with that. There was a quote I read the other day where they were talking about karate do. And I can't remember who wrote it, but he basically said, karate strives for the perfection and improvement of character, but it doesn't guarantee it. And that's true, because you can use whatever mechanism that you want. It doesn't mean you're going to get better. That's like people go to church and they still act like they are children of the devil. I mean, it happens. That's why before I read this proof that one time the dear general had some thug in him, but I think he evolved beyond that as he matured. That's why I say this. If you want to get spiritual with your martial arts practice, you shouldn't look to any founder of any style or any man-made system. I look to Jesus. That's the only man he's God and man. That's the only person who's not going to let you down. I can't even look at myself, because if I was someone else looking at me, I know I'd let me down. So you can't look to your instructors, to whatever martial artists you look up to, you admire. If you really want to look at how to conduct your life, you should just look at Jesus, especially if you're a Christian or whatever religious denomination you follow. I'm Catholic. I look to Jesus. Okay, that's who you gotta look to. Now, I'm not trying to put down your earthly teachers and guides and mentors and stuff like that. Because some of them will be upfront and frank and tell you, you could look at me for what not to do in some areas of your life. But in terms of living life, Jesus is the only person I know that's not going to let me down because, even when he lost his temper and took the whip to the people in a chamber, he never fell into temptation. He never gave in to weakness or human temptations. But I'm sure every other style founder and instructor in the world, in the known universe, has. So, let's get to General Choi first. In this book, I'm not going to just read it word for word. So basically, I'll paraphrase. It's from this book. Now let me read it. They were playing dice and playing cards, and they were losing money. And Choi was gambling. General Choi was gambling when he was a teenager. Let's see. He played so well that he could spot cheaters, which meant that he could probably cheat with the best of them. But at this table, the gamblers were professionals, so cheating would be impossible. In rapid succession, he and the others laid down the colorful cards and staked their money. But as the game progressed, Choi fared badly. This is strange, he thought. I am losing. He continued gambling, hoping to win his losses back. In case you don't know, gambling is a vice. In rapid succession... Okay, I already read that. Some of the Huatu cards had more poetic names such as Crane and Sun, but the poetry may have been lost on Choi when he detached the education money from his belt and gambled more. So he was gambling. Oh, here it is. Soon he lost all the money that his mother had given him, but he convinced the wrestler and the others to continue playing. Dawn was still far away, Choi said, and they should give him a chance to win back his losses. One of my mentors was a professional gambler. That's why this stuck out with me. Not struck out, stuck out. Because this sounds like some of the stories she used to tell me. But he told me to say, basically, if I catch you doing what I did when I was young, I'm going to put my foot up in you, and not in a good way. And he was bigger than me, and he knew how to fight. He used to be special forces, so I said, yes, sir. Did he throw the man strolling with an umbrella? The gamblers played for another hour. Warble in a tree, they knew Choi was finished and that he could not borrow from anyone in the village. Bore. Finally, the wrestler stood up. The purpose of gambling is to win money, he said. I've waited long enough. Now, I knew what was going to happen from my mentor, who was a professional gambler, God rest his soul. You can't win with so much money. You got to let other people win some too, or something like this will happen. Choi wanted to attack him, but knew that would be like a fox jumping a tiger. Choi knew some kicks and dodges, but the wrestler was bigger and a prize fighter. As he sat there, Choi remembered a thick bottle of ink on a desk nearby. I wonder if he pictured the next few seconds in advance, the way the room blackened before his eyes, the way the wrestler, only a country boy, put his money in a pocket, the way Choi's hand suddenly found the bottle of ink, and the way it sailed at the wrestler. The bottle smashed on his forehead, a lucky hit. The wrestler fell on his back, blood and ink trickling down his face. While the other gamblers watched, Choi walked to the body, pulled the money from the man's pocket, counted what he had lost, and fled. No one stopped him. Perhaps because they knew the wrestler would soon hunt him down. And Choi ran home. He didn't know if he killed them. He said all the blood and stuff. All right. Sound a little thug, right? Sound a little about it, right? Gully, what are they saying now? Sounds like Choi was about that life at one point. So don't think that these people who created these beautiful systems were always beautiful, perfect people. That's why you Bruce Lee fans who get mad when Michael Jai White said he could beat him, when I say I think Michael Jai White probably could have beat Bruce Lee at one point. And there are other people who say that there were other people who could fight as well as Bruce Lee. Stop tripping. Bruce Lee is not Jesus Lee. General Choi, not Jesus Choi, was not Jesus Choi. Bruce Lee used to get in the street fights. Remember? Those of you who swear to you're Bruce Lee fans, Bruce Lee used to get in the street fights. Remember that? That's how he felt like he needed to perfect what he was doing. He used to get in actual street fights. Would you, if you were a parent and your parent had an instructor who would go around and get in the street fights and test their stuff out, and your kid knew about it and your son or daughter thought it was cool, would you want that person instructing your child? Be honest, you probably wouldn't. Now, I'm not bringing this up to insult anybody. It's to actually point out that debate that I was about to, I would have been sticking my nose in and inserting myself into that debate. But honestly, both sides were right. Now, if obviously, of course, General Choi didn't stay that way. He grew up, matured, became a very successful man, and created a wonderful martial art that spread throughout the world. And if I've never met him. If you look at any footage of the guy, you would never think that he ever did anything like that. If you look at him in interviews, there's nothing about him that would make you think that he did something like that at one time, but yet he did. If anything, this should be a testament to the fact and how pursuing the martial arts can take somebody who's got serious problems like gambling, or maybe somebody likes to fight a little too much, or, maybe they've got an addiction. Those of us who have weight problems like me can help you take that energy, channel it somewhere else, transform it, and in the long run, you become a better person. So, thugs and gentlemen, the martial arts can help you evolve from thug to gentleman. But don't forget, gentlemen, while you're being a gentleman, that we are supposed to know how to fight too. Now, in my opinion, are we supposed to accept every single challenge that falls our way and stuff like that? No. No, we shouldn't. But don't act surprised if something like that every once in a while comes up. I mean, because this is the martial arts, and martial does mean like war, and that does mean something like fighting. That's why some people choose to call them the peaceful arts. And that's why for my teacher's creed, I don't just have a student creed. I have a teacher's creed. And for my teacher's creed, I say, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Because after we learn how to make war, and most people have to learn how to make war. But then after we learn how to do that, we have to take all that ability, retool it, and decide to make peace. Because the only things we should be fighting against are, things like ignorance, poverty, and all the bad things in the world. So that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Please like and comment and subscribe and share this video with people who like to talk about the martial arts. Peace.